10 ways hospitals and healthcare facilities can optimize their current marketing strategy. This is based on our experience over the last 18 months, consulting with several different healthcare networks, assisted livings, nursing homes, regional hospitals, and major networks. So the first thing is audit your current efforts. So many marketing departments, they don't audit their efforts enough. They're auditing them on a quarterly basis, and they're just looking kind of at the superficials of it all. It's not being tracked enough. There's too many vendors that are being managed, and things are kind of in a disarray, especially if you're looking at a larger hospital network. So audit your current efforts. A lot of those times that helps to bring in an expert for them, and you really want to think about, you want to work backwards. So before you audit your current efforts, you want to think about what type of patients do you want to drive to the hospital, what service lines are most profitable that you really want to attract patients for, what target populations are you not tapping into, so on and so forth. So if you want to drive more private pay into your hospital, that marketing is going to be different than driving commercial insurance patients, than driving government assistance, Medicaid, Medicare patients. So that's the power of understanding what type of patient populations you want to drive, and also what type of patient populations are in the surrounding areas of your hospital. A lot of people also forget that there is a heavy Latino population, or there may be another minority population in your local area, and you may not be tapping into that. You also want to think about auditing. You've seen this before, where the organic marketing department does not necessarily communicate with paid advertising department. Let's say the marketing department all in all is compartmentalized into like 5 different mini departments. It's very important that those many departments are working towards the same goals, and a lot of the times, just because they're inundated with trying to produce and create, it's almost like that connection gets lost. So that connection really needs to be forged. It should be all efforts surmounting into one pinnacle of like the same goals. So the first step is to audit your current efforts. How much is being invested into the marketing? What are you seeing as a result of that? Look at kind of the last 6 to 12 months. Are the efficacy of the efforts declining? Are they improving? Is the spend climbing? Is it improving? Do you know where the spend is most effective? So on and so forth. Are the vendors being honest in the reports that they're giving you? That's another thing that we see is a lot of the times the marketing, the head of marketing has to contract vendors, and they may not necessarily understand the niche that the vendor is in, so they don't really know if it's working, or if the clicks and the click-through rate is just kind of made up numbers. The efficacy has to be there. So if you look over the last 12 months and you see that the bargaining spend has increased 50%, but that there have been no real increases in the type of patients that you're trying to drive to the hospital, it's time to go back to the drawing board and see where is this misspend happening. And if you don't do that, then it's just going to continue to be like a bucket with several different holes. You're just gonna continue to pour water into the bucket, and it's not going to go anywhere. Number 2, like we said, have clear goals with realistic vacations and realistic timeframes. You want to understand that organic marketing is a long-term game. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. You don't want to pour so much into your paid advertising that you're basically squandering any potential of your organic marketing to work. So you really want to balance that. Spend paid ads and stuff are more for the immediacy. They're more immediate, the conversions, or you're paying for those conversions, but the organic marketing is essential. And what we've seen recently is that these healthcare facilities, especially after COVID, they've kind of neglected their social media presence prior, so now they're like in a panic, and they're just throwing paid ads. They're kind of misspending. They're kind of not knowing how to track their own vendors, and they're basically neglecting organic marketing entirely, which they are going to regret come 18 to 24 months from now. So you really have to balance that blend. So number 3, within your Marketing department, it's essential to create a culture of engagement and curiosity. A lot of the times interns, marketing assistants, even the head of marketing, if they're not giving the freedom to do so, they may be afraid to try new things because they're afraid that may fail and that they'll get fired. So within your marketing department, it's essential to create a culture of curiosity and to